All right, let's draw this really cute little watering can. I'm going to give you some basic shapes to create the watering can, and then we'll go back and add details. So first, get yourself some type of dish or bowl, whatever size you want your watering can. You kind of want it to be similar to that size. So I'm going to use this little bottom part, and this is the bottom of our watering can. You're going to go not quite halfway, not too round. We just kind of want a little bit of a rounded bottom. And then take your ruler and go from the edges up like this. And then you want the top of the watering can to have the same angle and curve as the bottom. That makes it look more even and symmetrical. And then to finish the top, we'll go ahead and do that same thing. I'm gonna just move this up here and flip it opposite way. And we've got the base of our watering can. All right, the next step is to add the spout of the watering can. So you're gonna come to the bottom. You can either do it on the right or the left, whatever direction you want your watering can to face. You're gonna start with a line. And then with this line here, we're gonna create a triangle shape. It will come back towards our can. And then at the top, I'm just gonna do a little circle and then a really skinny oval shape. And you can make this as big, as little as you want. If you want it to be bigger than that, you can see, I'll just erase that with my fingers. You can make it like a bigger little spout. And then I like to have the circle there because then it kind of helps the transition between the oval shape and the triangle not look as rough, okay? So if you want to make this look a little bit more fluid, you can come from the edge of the oval and bring it into the triangle to kind of finish it off. Either way, your preference. Okay, and then on this other side, you can use the same curve if you want to add the handle. You can do a round curve or a square curve, whatever you prefer. I'm just gonna go ahead and freehand this because I want it to be a little bit curvier here. All right, so here is like the basic shapes to create your water can, and now we're gonna add the detail. Okay, so I always come back first and I'm gonna add those highlights, and so we're gonna add chalk to all the edges here. And especially to this top edge where the light will probably be highlighted on top of it. And when you have a rounded area, you typically want to shade either have the highlights on one side to go to dark, or you want highlights on both sides and have your dark part to be in the middle. And that just means it gives it that dimension that you're looking for. So once you add your highlights, so we'll add a highlight to here. I'm gonna add a little highlight to the inside lip of the top, because this is the inside of the thing. I'm gonna leave this because we're gonna add holes, and then I'll add a highlight to the top here. So you can come back with a Q-tip, your finger, paintbrush works good, anything like that, and kind of just blend and smear the chalk so that it has more of a smooth transition. You can always add more chalk in if you need to. You guys can probably hear my kids giggling. Definitely new thing for me in this whole quarantine, being home, no school, is trying to manage recording and doing things like this with my kids around. They're in the other room. So you can see how that just transforms that whole shape. You're gonna do that with all the rest of this, all these shapes, and kind of just smear and make that transition smooth, which then all of a sudden you've got all of these amazing highlights and lowlights, and it's made the can just like come to life. And then you can come back and you can retrace if you smeared. Like I can kind of clean up some of these edges. And then lastly, in the design, I actually came back and I added polka dots just because I felt like that just gave it more character and a little bit more fun. So you can come back and add those little like dots, okay? And then for the spout, you just want to kind of tap your chalk, or you can use the chalk pastel pencil to make those little details. on there. And inside the design, I also added some florals inside here if you want to. The other thing is, if you want the water to actually come out, just come from here and then like lightly have like some random lines that come out of your spout. And then obviously we're gonna tip it a little bit so it looks like it's pouring out. All right, friends, so I've just kind of cleaned up my lines and added a little bit of that shading, highlights here and there. And now we have this cute, adorable little watering can.